Thank you for tuning in to Terminal 234. This is Season 3, Episode 8. On this episode, we'll discuss the right time to leave a job, the right time to leave a party, the right time to leave a conversation. When is it the right time? How do you know? Keep listening to find out more.
Welcome back to Terminal 234. It's Faye on the mic with...
What's up? This is Dolapo. This is Terminal 234.
Yep.
Are you ready?
Said, I am ready.
Hey,
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
How was your weekend?
Is you ready? So, like the...
that was okay, but...
you know what I'm talking about?
We didn't need it. Yes.
No, we needed that. That was good.
Anyway, no, but how was your weekend?
Boring. I've been home because there's nothing else to do.
Right.
If
so you've been practicing social distancing?
Yeah, by force. I have no choice. Everything is
last
closed
weekend you still went out.
Yeah, but I think that was before the government started being like, you should, because like I said, the government has to say what they want people to do, and people actually follow.
Right.
Though that's not really true, but people will try to follow more
for the most part.
Yeah, because last weekend stuff was open. People were in the club,
yeah.
So it's different now. There is no clubbing.
Yeah.
I didn't get a text from anyone.
So you just chilled at home.
Yeah. Does
that mean you listened to our last podcast and you put some of those suggestions into play?
So I did. I started watching Narcos last night.
Great.
Narcos Mexico.
Okay.
I watched the first 2 episodes and then I fell asleep because I was so tired.
Okay.
But yeah, I have been watching stuff.
Good for you.
I watched Peaky Blinders. I finished it up to the last episode. You know, stuff like that. How about you?
Yeah, same. I mean, I was telling you earlier that I started watching Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched it on and on throughout the years. What did I just say? On and on? I meant to say off and on. Guys, I'm kind of out of
okay.
it
We
today.
understand. On and on, off and on.
Yeah, I've watched it off and on throughout the years, and so me and my sister picked it up this past week or so.
Okay,
and we've watched a couple old seasons already. So that's kind of all I've been doing in terms of media.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Not so exciting, huh?
No, not that exciting.
Yeah.
We can't wait for Corona to go away. Yeah, but until it does go away, I don't know if you guys are unaware, but if you are unaware, a lot of countries are shutting their borders. It's kind of a thing. It's just trying to contain the spread, trying to because traveling has been a major way that it's spread. I think
exactly
most countries. Let me not say most countries. I know, let's say Nigeria, for example, all the cases they had reported before yesterday or today were all of them pretty much were from people traveling. So
correct.
They've closed. Nigeria specifically has closed their borders.
As of today, Sunday.
As of yesterday, actually.
Well, by the time you're listening to this, as of yesterday.
Yeah, so they closed their borders. So no one is leaving. No one is coming in.
Yep.
I know a lot of other countries have done similar things. I want to say Italy's in the same boat.
Most of the countries in the European Union as well.
Spain, a lot of those countries are heavily hit. And I think I also saw something where the U.S. is now has the 3rd most cases already. I didn't research or fact check. Someone said we should fact check more, and I should have fact checked.
Who said that? Can they come and fact check for us?
No, they just said we should make sure that it is true. We should because a lot of times we're just we're usually right though.
Well, we are usually right, and we also always qualify it with statements I'm not sure. I think blah blah blah. I mean, you guys can look into it if you want. We're just here to try our best, guys.
yeah, but it's. We can.
But actually, we could always try our best.
Have more information if we.
I would believe that the U.S. is the 3rd country with, or what is this?
The third most cases currently.
Yes, I would believe that, especially because California, which is a state of 40 million people, apparently about 50% is slated to get the virus, so that would be 20 million people off rip. That's a fact. That's what they're projecting. Obviously, we don't know this to be factual or that it's going to actually take place. But things like that is worrisome. It's just the way this
and the U.S.
virus
is
works.
the U.S. is in fact 3rd, right after China and Italy. So
there you go.
We're up there, and we have. I want to say we have the most new cases. We have 12,000. That's crazy in the U.S. So.
Guys, even though we're in the U.S., it's hard for us to conceptualize how large the U.S. is, though. So it's understandable. Again, I'm sure there's 20 Italys that can fit in the U.S. So
and also people, if you're in a place that's heavily hit right now, California and New York, pretty much, I think are the 2 most. You don't understand. It's what's the big deal?
Yeah,
but
they're massive states, so they have a lot of population to be affected.
And again, like the big deal is just the spread. Like last week, in like 2 weeks ago in Maryland, we had like 1 to 2 cases. Now we're at like, I want to say we're at 300 and something. So it's
insane how this shit moves.
Yeah, it's crazy. Speaking of the coronavirus, since we're on it, I don't know if you saw what your girl Vanessa Hudgens posted.
Why are you calling her my girl?
Because I know that's your
girl.
When
did she become my girl?
Faye, you're the Disney representative. Nikki, I said Nikki. I'm
unapologetic about it, though. I do like me some Disney people.
I know. So why are you gonna hate?
I don't know why you're now lumping in Nickelodeon. What the fuck are you talking about?
Let me ask you a question. Were you not like one of the biggest High School Musical fans?
No.
Oh, that's
not a fact. When I say I kind of like some Disney peeps, I mean like I can rock with Demi Lovato, Miley Cyrus, Selena Gomez, maybe a little light
Zac
support
Efron,
for them.
Vanessa Hudgens.
You're just doing the most.
You're trying to say you like everyone in Disney except for High School Musical.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I don't ride so heavy for them.
That's your girl. Stop playing.
I'm gonna say Vanessa's your girl. I think you had a crush on her.
She had a song that was good. No, is it her? No, not her. The other girl. Selena Gomez had a song that I liked one time. Really? I was surprised. I want to say the song was called Body, maybe?
Good For You, maybe?
Good For You.
Yeah, I love that song.
That was a good song.
Yeah, it was.
But outside of that, I don't support those people.
Song.
Yeah, it was a very good song.
Anyway, let's talk about Vanessa Hudgens.
Yes. So, first of all, people don't know who Vanessa Hudgens is. It's okay. You might not know. I wouldn't know if I didn't like live
I think you just gave them a clue, though.
Yeah, High School Musical. Yeah. I think that's really what she's most famous for. And that is what she's most famous for.
That's what she's most well
known for. She's done other stuff. She's tried to,
she's popped off since then.
Has she?
Yeah, I mean, in the sense that, like, maybe not A-list, but she's definitely high B-list. No, because she was adjacent to Zac Efron for so many years. That helped her. Her relationship was more famous than her, maybe, but it helped her a lot.
I think
because Zac Efron is pretty high.
Is too high.
I don't know if I would give her a C though, but you're right. Now she's doing like Netflix movies, like Christmas movies. So I feel like
what's the last thing you saw her in? What's the last thing that she did? Oh no,
Christmas.
Yeah, like she's below B. B is
but she had that movie with Jennifer Lopez recently. It was like maybe last year.
Not Hustlers. She wasn't Hustlers.
Not Hustlers. Some other movie. It was like some like rom-com. I don't remember. Okay. She's done movies with like high-profile people. She was in Men in Black, wasn't she? I didn't watch it, but yeah,
the one with the
Will
girl.
Smith and Martin Lawrence, and she was in it. I don't know.
That's not Men in Black. That's Bad Boys.
Bad Boys. Sorry.
I'm like, what?
Sorry. Well, you should have caught me as soon as I said Men in Black. When was the last time a Men in Black?
They just did a Men in Black. That's how I was like.
No, it was Bad Boys that came out.
There was also a Men in Black with the girl that was in Creed, the wife in Creed.
Okay.
I forget her name.
I mean, this is all besides the point. Either way, I think she teeters the line of like B-list to C-list celebrity. Whatever.
C-list or D-list.
Okay. That's a lot of backstory.
See, you're riding for your girl. Look at that. Riding for her already.
Okay.
I don't want to claim her.
Moving on.
Okay. So go ahead. Say what happened.
Oh, okay. Well, she was on Instagram Live and she made some insensitive comments about Corona. Let me just say though, all these celebrities and influencers, you can tell they have nothing to do. They've been on live heavy, and like there's always a new video popping off of somebody on live doing something. But anyway, she said some insensitive comments about how maybe we're all gonna die anyway, or people are gonna die anyway. So
what's the big deal?
Yeah, people can relax a little bit. But then if you watch the full clip, right after she said that, she's like, maybe I shouldn't be saying this. Like, I'm going a little crazy. Like she was basically like, I said that flippantly. I second guessed my comment. It's like what people have been saying in their homes. Like, I know these people in these streets, a lot of them are just
a lot of people
making
don't
light
understand
of the situation.
Yeah. Definitely.
So she's not the first. She got caught up on live doing that. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, she's very stupid for that. Yeah. I mean, come on. Like, I understand if you.
I just don't know why it's such a huge deal.
Oh no, it's not.
Why did it become like a headline?
Because people are bored. There's nothing else going on around the world. Like, if you say something stupid, people are like, they're waiting for you to say something. They're like begging, like, please say something stupid. So yeah, just watch what you say and watch where you post it. Well, then, do you think people
should? I guess, yeah. Let's just go with that. Watch what you say and watch where you post it. Because I was like, do you think people should just lie? Like, or not be truthful about how they feel
But that's the thing. It's so simple to me. Yeah. A lot of times, for most people, it's very simple. You don't have to speak about something if you don't have anything positive to say. Like, if you're going to say something stupid, just don't say it. Just like, literally, like, when like celebrities pass away sometimes, people have like, they're like, oh, why do I care about this celebrity? Other people die. But it's like, you don't have to say like, just keep it to yourself. You don't have to say RIP with us. Like, you don't have to mourn with us. But just don't say anything. That's it.
I guess for me, it's slightly different when you're on live and it's like a stream of consciousness. And I get it. Like, you're right. Like, as a celebrity, as somebody with a platform, you should edit yourself a little bit. You should. But it's unfortunate because when you're having like a stream of consciousness conversation and that live thing, I feel like for celebrities, it gets a little bit confusing for them because they only see like, maybe 300 people are tapped into their lives. So like they don't realize the magnitude it could take if it gets in the wrong hands, if you will. Like the 300 people in that live, I guess, yeah. I'm sure they weren't really up in arms. Like maybe 1 or 2 people commented. And
of course, because the people that like are your fans anyway. Like,
they get it.
If Vanessa Hudgens is doing a live and you join, like obviously you're a fan.
Exactly my point. So that's why I'm like, they don't like. I know Ari Lennox gets in trouble a lot with that. Like where she's like doing her thing on live and not really editing for the world. She's only thinking about the few that are tapped into it. So I think it is what it is. In this season where all y'all celebrities are about to be on Instagram heavy, you gotta chill. Yeah. Think twice.
Yeah, even regular people. True. Speaking of like just being on social media and stuff, I know you've seen all the challenges going around. I have. Everyone is doing a challenge.
You did one.
I did a challenge. They tagged me. I did tag you. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna do this one.
Yeah. Oh, you have to do it.
Have you seen me?
Yeah,
you have to do it. I'm able?
Just fake it. Do like 3 and then just But yeah, no, there's challenges going. I was gonna do one. I got tagged in 2 of them, and I was like, I guess I really have to do it.
Which 2? What was?
Well, the same challenge, the same push-ups. Then C10, do 10. I'm not gonna copy the wordings, guys. I'm too cool for that. But I did post it. I felt like after the fact, I'm like, damn, I did a challenge. Oh no. I think it's my first challenge of life. Because I'm that bored. Like, people are bored.
I don't think I've ever done a challenge ever.
Really?
So you would be the
You never did any of those. You probably did those Facebook challenges. Stop it.
I really didn't.
The ones where you have to, like, answer a million questions about your life and tag 10 million people.
I genuinely don't think I have.
Okay. I'll believe you for now. I'll go on Facebook and research. Okay. It's still up. People don't delete stuff on Facebook. Like,
yeah, no, for sure.
It's still there somewhere.
Go crazy.
They like, yes, my best friend is that person and that person. Like,
have fun looking it up. But no, I don't know if I'm gonna do a challenge, but it's been fun kind of like seeing the community at large get together on the internet. Yeah. And just try and not make light or just make the best out of the situation.
I mean, because I think one of the hardest parts of like everything shutting down is not so much like losing access to stuff, because you still have access to a lot of things, is losing contact with people. Like, I had one of my friends hit me up last night, like, yo, he sent me a text, like, I need your help. And I was like, I'm thinking, like, what's going on? Like, I don't know. I had no idea what he was asking me. And like he called me and I was like, what's the move? Somebody must be doing a house party tonight. I was like, I really wish someone was. Like, I want to leave my house too. Like,
what do you mean wish someone was?
If someone's doing something, like 10 people or something, I'll go. Like, I might be the one to do something for 10 people next weekend. All right, Faye, if I invite you next weekend, don't come, since you don't want to get corona. 10 people that want to come, if I invite you, come through.
No, but like on what you were saying earlier, humans are social beings. Yes. I mean, I've heard, I don't know how true this is, but like the highest form of torture is isolation.
It is, yeah.
Or solitary confinement. So I completely understand, especially those who live alone.
Yeah.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Yeah. I mean, I think last episode we talked about like Netflix, but you don't need you need something to chill with. You need to find too. It gets old, but at least like you need something to switch it up. Versatile, like maybe not every day, but at least the option of it.
Mm-hmm. Like if you've never listened to a podcast, try the medium. Maybe you would like it. If you've never listened to a certain artist that everybody loves and you're like, who is this person? Yeah. Maybe just try their music. Yeah. Read a book if you've been that person, aka me, that's been saying they want to read more for the past however many years. Like, do stuff that you might not normally do.
I mean, you have so much time. Like, you have to do something you don't always do. Because even the things you like to do, like, you think you've been trying to do more of, like, you get tired of them in a couple of days. You're like, damn, I really wanted to do this, and like, damn, I'm tired of doing this.
I'm trying to get more familiar with FaceTime. I've never really been somebody who's ever a FaceTime person. I'm sure you're different considering.
I don't FaceTime that much, but yeah.
No, but like I mean I will do it. I've done it, but you know what I mean? I'm not like a consistent FaceTimer, me too. So I'm like, why not, get in contact with my friends, especially because with iMessage you can do the group FaceTime calls or whatever. So it's like, why not give it a shot? Let's see how this thing works. But again, just do different things that are out of your comfort zone, out of the norm for you, and give suggestions too.
Yeah, definitely. Let us know what people can do out there. What are you doing?
How did you help your friend? Crazy? Did you just say, I got nothing for you, bye?
I did. I was like, yeah.
Damn, you couldn't at least told him, like, I'm watching Narcos right now, maybe try.
He already knows all the stuff to watch. Like, he's calling because he wants to, like, have contact with people. Oh, not man. That he's, like...
Does said person live by themselves?
No. Okay. But you get tired of... If you live with one person or two people, like, you will still get tired of those people. Like, you need to be around different people.
But what I was going to say is, like, I mean, me and my siblings, we played, like, a little bit of Taboo. We played Uno. Like, again, things that we might not do regularly. Like, even if it's the same people. Because you're stuck together, you're going to do stuff. And, make it enjoyable. Yeah. So, like, even if it's the same people you see all the time, like, try something different with them. Yeah. Like, play charades. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, I want to invite people so we can play charades. Simple.
But what if one of your 10 has the coronas?
We're testing at the door, guys. Trust me. Testing at the door. You
got the plug like that? You got some tests?
I wish. Check your temperature. We could do that.
Mm-hmm. And we're back. That clap just woke me up. I was like slumped and then I just... we're back. What are we talking about today, Dolapo?
Oh, so today we are talking about when is the right time to leave.
To move on.
Yes, exactly. It's a very open-ended question by design because you leave so many different things. And I think I'm a bad leaver. Like... I'm the person, like, if we're at like not even a gathering, if 3 or 4 people are talking, if I'm in a group and we're talking to each other, and let's say like I have to leave to go to the store, I'm the worst person at being like, okay guys, I'm leaving.
You'll like loiter and like
yes, I hate it so much, but I'll just be like,
take 2 steps towards the door, 3 steps back.
Exactly. Like I will almost like I will leave later than I want to leave, and it'll just be because I'm even enjoying the conversation, whatever is happening. I'm just not good at leaving. Yeah. I'm just not good at being like, okay, I'm out.
Yeah. I mean, that's a very literal way of taking this topic. It is. But how about we give them a little bit of a background on where this came from?
Yes. So this came from the idea, the question, the potential for Charlemagne the God to leave the Breakfast Club. Right? So I think when... Joe Budden and like that whole state of the culture. When they were there, they asked. I don't think it was Joe. I don't know who asked. It might have been Joe Budden, but someone asked.
I think it was Joe, but
I think it was someone asked. Like, actually, I think it was Joe Budden or Remy Ma. But they pretty much asked like, "Oh, are you guys gonna like renew your contract?" And first, everyone was kind of like, and then like she kind of asked again, like specifically, like, "Guys, are you gonna renew your contracts? Like, don't avoid my question." And everyone around the room, DJ Envy and Angela Yee said yes. And Envy said yes.
I think what I was gonna say. I think Yee and Charlemagne were the ones that said, "You know what? I'm still keeping."
My like I'm not sure. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then I think Envy was like, "I have a family."
Yeah, Envy was like, "Yeah, no, I'm resigning. Like, I'm collecting the money."
They locked me down. Yeah, they got me.
Angela Lee was kind of like she was a little more defensive. She's kind of like, like I'm keeping my options open and short term contracts and this, that, and other. Charlotte was kind of like, no.
He's the one that. Basically, after that exchange, you could tell that he probably isn't in this for the long term anymore.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So, brought up an interesting question of course, that's someone that's in a different position than maybe a lot of people are. Yeah. But a lot of people have those kinds of decisions to make of when is the right time to leave a good thing and when is the right time to move on to find something better or just different. So we can start off talking about him and then we can switch it out.
I mean, I think... The Breakfast Club is Charla and Charla is the Breakfast Club. So I think it's a mutually beneficial relationship. Like I feel like, yes, Charlemagne has gotten a little bit bigger than the collective. Not even a little. He's by far probably, the A mic. As much as everyone wants to believe he is.
Then the other Charla, people, right.
definitely, creates the tone of that whole thing. So as much as he is that A mic, I feel like he always comes back home, if you will. Like, he goes and does his own thing, but he always comes back to the Breakfast Club because it is what keeps his engine going. And I feel like it's the same with other people who are, like, in other industries. Maybe a musician like Rihanna who has this empire with makeup or clothing or whatever, but she always comes back to music, or at least that's what we hope. We don't know right now, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like there's that thing that starts the flame, and you have to keep stoking it in order to create life in other avenues. So it will be interesting to see if him leaving, if he does leave, will be the best decision for him.
Yeah, I mean, I think exactly to figure out the best decision, we would never know. He's the only one that could tell.
Yeah.
But I do think it would probably be a good time for him to leave in terms of a lot of things that he does at Breakfast Club, like you said, he's big enough to be able to do those in terms of interviews anyway. He already does that. He already does interviews by himself. I know, that's what I was gonna say. He has this thing on his YouTube. Production quality like has to go up. Like he has too much money to have videos that are like, come on. Like his videos be like very funny looking. But yeah, like he can do that by himself. And I mean he already did it with like he's done it with a couple of different avenues, the interview thing. And
yeah, but that's my point. He keeps doing these things, but guess what? He always goes back to Breakfast Club. If day in and day out, where I see Charla the most is on Breakfast Club, in the sense that like if I'm checking for an interview, I'm probably gonna see a Breakfast Club interview before I see a regular Charlemagne interview.
Of course, yeah.
Although who knows? Maybe him leaving will end up creating an atmosphere where people go to him. Like, you know what I mean? Like they'll go seek him out, considering I feel like a lot of the reason they go to the Breakfast Club is because of him. Yeah,
I mean, I think that it's an interesting decision I would have to make, just because the Breakfast Club is a different vibe than when it's just him. Because I've watched his interviews by himself in the Breakfast Club, totally, and it's different. So I think it depends. It depends on what he's looking for. I can imagine the money might be better by himself, potentially, if he can get something that's... It could be.
Maybe, but it's just that at the end of the day, the Breakfast Club is part of a machine and a conglomerate, and iHeart, the type of dollars they can provide is just... I would think, at least in his field, is unmatched. Like, yeah, he's tried the TV thing, but it, again, doesn't really ever match the level that Breakfast Club has attained.
But again, that's what I think goes back to, yes, iHeart, like, he's not going to compete with them.
Yeah.
But he can compete in terms of what they're paying him. Because you have to remember, like, he's a hired gun. Right? So he's a hired gun. Like, if he leaves, they'll put someone else in that position. It won't be as good, obviously.
Yeah.
But he's a hired gun. If he's doing it by himself, he's potentially controlling more of the pie. So he's going to get more of a cut.
Yeah.
You know, those are the things that, like, he has to make that decision financially. And I think a lot of people, when they have to leave a position, they have to make that same decision. Like, if you're leaving a job, when's the right time to leave a job? Like, for us regular people.
Yeah, and we can definitely pivot to that. But can I just get your viewpoint on Angela Yee? So, because I feel like Charla, like we've already mentioned, he's in a little bit of a different position. Angela Yee, I don't know that. I mean, I listen to her podcast on and off. But outside of that, I don't really.
Podcast, whatever it's called. Lip service. It's just about sex. Is it not just about sex? Like, come on. It is.
No, because the thing is, like, she'll interview people and then yes, the undertone is that, but then it goes on. Like, for example, I listened to the Wale one, and that one was really good. He ended up talking about, like, his life, his child, all of that. You know what I mean? And actually, I fell in love with Wale a lot more because of that interview. So, yes, the undertone is sex, but it doesn't always, you know.
She should market it differently for because they just make it sound like it's sex. And I have watched it. I have watched a couple episodes a couple years ago. Like, I watched when Kevin Gates was there, and I was like, oh my God, what am I watching?
It was very explicit. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they need to be able to realize that in order to bring other people into the fold, maybe show some of the other content that you produce, you know. But anyway, that's all besides the point. That's the only thing I know that's kind of popped off for her ish. But even with that, I don't think it's nearly on the same level as Breakfast Club.
It's not.
Like,
no.
You know, Charla is a best-selling artist, or not artist, author. He's had multiple TV shows on MTV. Like, you know, I can't say the same for Angela. So
but I think also, for her, it'll be, I don't know if that she'll be the person to push to move on. Yeah. Like, I can see, like, Charlamagne, like, usually, just, if you keep it simple, the star, quote unquote, is usually the person that wants to leave. Yeah. Because they can usually do just as good by themselves, or they can get something equivalent or better almost anywhere. Yeah. She's obviously not the star of the show. So, I think she can get something else, but I don't know if it would be on the same level. You know, like, because if you think about it, just, if you look at a Breakfast Club interview or episode on YouTube or something, there are episodes where, like, someone is missing. All three of them. I'm more likely to watch episode where like Angela Charlamagne is there and no one else is there, compared to the other way around. So, like, where Angela or Envy is gone versus Charlamagne being gone. I totally, because he asks the more interesting questions. Usually, like, the funniest stuff kind of comes from him, and it's just how it's just worked out over the years. Like, that's just who we relate to and go to more for. Like, people go on Breakfast Club to talk to Charlamagne. Like, it's like in so many interviews, I'm like, damn, could you like relax a little bit? Like, people are like, oh, Charlamagne, I came up. I'm like, guys, like,
it's like I was waiting for this.
Yeah, it's like it's a group. Can you like remember like the other people in the room too? Like, they're doing the same thing.
It's just the nature of the beast.
It is. So I think for her, it's a different decision. But she also has other ventures. I know she has like her
like the juice.
Yeah, she always talks about. So it depends on what else she has going on and basically what she can get. And like we don't know because we're not in their positions. But if she can get something equivalent or something similar, maybe less stress, better work conditions, right? Because it's not just money, it's not just popularity, it's other things that go into it.
And for me, the shame is that I feel like she kind of has her light dimmed on that show, because when I do hear her on lip service, where she is obviously the main squeeze, like she's the point A, like she definitely has way more of a personality. She's more silly than you would ever know. Like Charlamagne, like the juxtaposition between her and Charlamagne makes her look like the serious, like, you know. So that's the thing. I feel like I would actually enjoy seeing her in other avenues. I just don't know if she can ever reach the level of Breakfast Club, but maybe that's not even her goal. Like exactly, you mentioned, that's what I'm saying.
That might not be your goal. I mean, a lot of times too, that's what leads people to failures, because you're trying to replicate a success you already had. Like, you're not going to make a Breakfast Club again. Even Charlamagne is not going to do that again. He might do something that's super successful in its own right, but it will not be Breakfast Club. It's going to be different.
Good point.
So I don't know. I think, but let's switch it to regular people, because we're not on Breakfast Club.
Because I'm not making Breakfast Club money.
No, we're not there yet. But how do you decide, or when do you decide like it's the right time to leave a job or to look for a better job or a different job?
It's difficult, because I think that's kind of maybe what like Envy goes through, in the sense that you've made your presence known in a machine. You've like pretty much built up your stock in a certain atmosphere. People there know who you are. You've created this level of comfort. You know how to do your job well, all of that. So it's weighing that against the unknown. And that's where it gets tricky. It's like, is the risk worth it? And I think that decision is very individual.
It is.
I can't really paint it with a broad brush.
Have you ever been in a position that you had to leave a position?
Yes. Yeah. So like my first job out of college versus my second, the decision was just about money, and everything I just mentioned before, the comfort level, all of that was like, when it was weighing that against the unknown plus the X amount more dollars that I was going to be making, that just made more sense for me. And I feel, again, me being a single person, no children, no husband, all of that, mobility is just a lot more of an option for me, whereas people who have to weigh the unknown as a potential, like, you know, short-term circumstance. Like, what if I get there and I hate it and everybody there hates me and I don't, perform my best? I have a family to take care of. So I think, honestly, the decision to leave is, at least for our age group, ends up coming down to financial. A lot of times. Like, rarely do I hear someone who's like, I'm only leaving because I hate it. Because I feel like if they're leaving for that, they would take the pay cut. You know what I mean? If it was like, I hate it so much, then that's the only reason I'm leaving, they would take it they would take the other opportunity regardless of whether or not they're getting paid more. But usually I don't hear that. Whether they hate their job or not, if the other option does not pay them more money, they're not leaving. Yeah, so
that is true. I do know a couple people that have left positions and they're just like, I just hate this job. And like literally left the position without even having another position secured, just because they hated it that much. It is rare, because I wouldn't advise to do that. Like I'm kind of on the train of keep that job till you find something else. Like even if it's a little worse, like money wise, like at least don't be out of a job. But I know people that have left a job like, I just can't work in this position. So I think that it is interesting, because I think we're fortunate to not have been in that position, because I imagine it's a lot of stress and a lot of like mental. If you're doing that,
you know,
exactly. It's a lot of stuff like weighing on your spirit and your mental that like made you leave. So that's something to not take for granted. Like, yes, the money is important; it's a big part of it. But your well-being in general is also important, because if they pay you, like we've seen people like the Dave Chappelle theory, right? Like they'll pay you all the money in the world, but if you're not feeling good, like that money is not going to make you feel better. Like it's probably not worth it for your situation.
Good point. Yeah.
So it's definitely something to think about. I've only ever loved jobs for like not even more money, but also just like better convenience, like more flexibility. Like for me, that's something that's important. Like I like flexible situations. Like my part-time jobs and stuff, I switch them like as much as, I mean, not all the time, but a couple of times. But it's just a matter of like, I want to be able to have, if it's part-time, like it cannot be taking all my time. Yeah. Like it should be that.
Yeah, I feel like the switch up, if it's not financial, it's what you're describing, where it's just like, okay, maybe rather than driving an hour and a half to work, I get to work maybe within 20 minutes. So even though I'm not getting paid more, maybe I'm getting paid the same. It's all good because, again, my peace of mind is that much better. Yeah. But then again, you have that luxury of making such decisions when you are single. Like, for instance, maybe leaving a job because you hate it so much and you really don't care about.
I mean, you need the support. You need someone to hold you down if you're gonna do that.
Well, not necessarily. Like the what you were describing about, like I'm leaving this job and I don't have anything else. In line. Well, when you don't have like 2 little kids to worry about, or
for sure, you can make that kind of
decision. Because I know a lot of people who are in like torturous situations, but they can't live
until they find something better. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So I think again, it all depends on what's going on behind the scenes, like outside of work. Like it's never just an insulated situation.
No, never. This decision. Yeah, it's always all those things considered. Yeah. To figure out like, wow, when should I leave? And even before deciding to leave, before you can leave, you need to find another. Well, you don't have to. Yeah. But like your situation when you left for a better position, how did that come about? Like, was that something that a better position, like they just came to you, or were you looking?
Combination of both. Like I had my feelers out, but I wasn't like aggressively looking for a new job. But then it came to me. Like it kind of just landed on my lap. I was like, okay, why not? I'm gonna go in this interview. And then of course, just everything about it.
They loved you and they're like, oh, we have to have you. You're the best. That part. What do you want? To write your number on the paper and you're like, yes, 00000.
That part. Okay. I'm a millionaire secretly. Hey. No. So basically, yeah, like they liked me. I liked them. It was flexible way more flexible versus my original job. Yeah. Money was up. Like all of that.
Everything was better. So it was an easy decision kind of.
It was it was seamless.
Yeah. So why were you putting out feelers? Because that's something I'm like kind of weighing in myself is like, when should you always be? Because I like recently I had people at work randomly, like when I first got my job, people are like, oh, you have to make sure you don't stay here longer than 3-4 years. Like find another job somewhere else, even if it's just a different department. Like just like move, which is an interesting idea to me. I actually like that. Like I don't want to be in the same exact position for 20 years. But when do you decide that like, oh, let me start looking for stuff? Like it's not because you get comfortable. You get comfortable where you're at.
Well, for me, because taking that initial entry-level job, it was an entry-level job that I intended on leaving within about a year. Okay, so that was always your plan. So once that like 8-month mark came around, that's when the feelers started. Okay. I wanted to, make it past like 6 months. Yeah. So once that happened, I started putting out those feelers. And my plan was I will start aggressively looking at about a year. But again, it came a little sooner. Yeah. It just happened to.
So it seems like one of the best ways to know when to leave is to decide when to leave before you get to that point.
I think a lot of us do that now. A lot of millennials, which is for the better or for the worse. I don't know, because I feel like I definitely edge more on the side of hopefully one day I will, if I'm still working like a normal 9 to 5, who knows? Hopefully one day I will find that place that I can see myself staying at long term. Like I'm not like most of my counterparts. Every 2 years they're like itching to leave. Like I don't see an issue staying somewhere for 4 or 5 years. Yeah. If I'm comfortable, if I feel like I'm well appreciated, well liked, feel like I'm getting everything I want out of it, and I can support myself, support my family, blah blah blah. Like I know people genuinely who literally just put out resumes for the fuck of it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just because, I don't know. I don't hate my job, but you will see, and I don't do that. Like, if I'm not hurting for anything, like, if I'm not unhappy where I am, I don't see why I need to do that. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, it is, I've heard people say that's a good thing to do, like, to just throw out stuff. Yeah. Just to test the market, see what's out there, like, so that when you do need to know what's out there, you're not just finding out. Like, you already have some idea. So it makes some sense. No, it definitely does. And I get why my counterparts do it, especially because, like, again, nowadays, millennials realize they are disposable as employees. Like, I feel like back, maybe our parents' generation, whatever, they weren't as disposable. Yeah. So now that, they are so disposable, our age group, they feel like, well, the job is disposable too. Like, if I can find something better, I don't care. So I completely understand. Like, never get too comfortable, never get too complacent, because you don't know when they're going to turn on you. Yeah. So I get it.
Don't let them kick you out. Like, leave before they decide to kick you out.
Yeah. And ambition is a lovely thing. Like, I guess for me too, though, is like if I find a company I really love, which again, I hope that's my case, I intend on hopefully just working within the system, depending on how large the company is. And not because again, I'm somebody like once I find a comfort zone, I tend to stick there. For the better or for the worse. I don't know. It could be a bad thing, but my ambition may stay internal depending on how much I do enjoy that.
As long as they can fulfill the thing that you need, right? Like as long as you have opportunities for advancement where you are, like you're not stuck literally. Exactly. It makes sense. Like it's not just, there's more to life than just money and what's bigger and better out there. Sometimes what you have is good.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me find out.
Yeah. No, but how about you? What would prompt you to give out those feelers and see what's out there?
So for me, I think it's more of the earlier thing you said, where like I have a time that I just want to do it. So I don't have like, of course, if I'm in a bad situation, like I'm going to do it. But if it's just like not aggressive, like you said, just like conservatively, just looking and seeing what's out there. It's a matter of time. It's a matter of like I've been in this position for 4 or 5 years. All right, let me see what else is out there because I honestly don't even know. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I see people. This person has this kind of job. Like, you know, you hear about more stuff that people are doing, and you're like, oh, like I would like to do something like that. Like, can I do something like that? Cool. Let me find out. Like, people are working from home. I told you already. I'm like, okay, what do? You work from home? You're a consultant. Yeah. Oh, so me too. I'm like, let me go. So that's actually what it is. I want to. No, seriously, I want to find out like what exactly can I consult on? Because I must be able to consult on something. And then is it worth it? Obviously, I'm just researching. Right. But that's like something I would look out for. And like,
see, like that's what for me. Most of my goals come from an internal place, and like it's never really about like, you know, what I'm supposed to be doing, like the timeline that I'm supposed to be following. So like that, like what you were saying with consulting, that's kind of always been a goal of mine because I just like the flexibility of it, not just the flexibility in the hours, the flexibility within the job and how you can kind of create your own lane out of it. So like for me, like maybe the decision to go back to school or anything like that, it's always because I have ideas within myself for what I want, and it's never. And again, genuinely for me, it's never about a dollar amount. It's just like, is it a job that can sustain a lifestyle that I see for myself, and that I could be comfortable in. But I genuinely don't intend on it. I shouldn't be putting this out there, but I don't think I'm gonna live in a mansion. Maybe I will one day, but I don't intend on it. I just want to be comfortable, and if I can create a life for myself,
mansions are comfortable too.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. I know. I actually do know what you mean. I know what you mean.
I'm not making decisions based on like I need this 7-figure salary. Yeah, it's a decision of comfort and what I can see myself doing and enjoying myself doing.
Yeah, and I do think it's a good conversation to have another day, but like just the value of money and what is comfortable, because I think people we keep bringing this up. I have found that people that don't make money don't understand like what comfortable is. Because people think they have to be millionaires to be comfortable, and I'm like, yo, like the people you think are rich that you see on a daily basis are not millionaires. They're not millionaires at all. They're making I mean, let me not say how much I'm making, but I'm making like 100,000 a year out here trying to be a millionaire by force.
I was I don't know what I was listening to or reading or something, but I hear that Malcolm Gladwell has some stat in some book where I think at like 75K, that's where the level of happiness kind of plateaus.
Oh, really?
Every amount of beyond that, people aren't like significantly more.
It's not like it's not linear.
Exactly, it's not linear. At some point, it is linear to a point, and it's under 100K. So, like to put that into perspective for you guys, it's like. Again, for me, I could see myself being happy, you know, making X amount of dollars. I don't want to cap myself.
No,
you know
don't
what I mean?
Yourself,
and not really be looking like really you'll living this more, life looking but you're not for more. I'm not necessarily looking for more.
Because what you have, you're comfortable with. And you know that you can have a good life and enjoy that life.
So for me, the decision to leave, to go back to the topic, is never really going to live and die by financial decisions. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's all.
Yeah, so that was a good conversation about leaving. Yeah, definitely. Okay. I mean, if you're trying to leave your work, I mean, we just gave you some good advice, even though we're not experts on it. Yeah, but you know, sometimes advice. Like I think that a lot of things too, it's not about being an expert. It's just about sharing what your perspective is and what your ideas are. And like it'll influence people, because people be like, "Damn, like you're right. I never thought about that. Like I was just gonna go get that extra 10,000, but like, they're gonna make me work an extra day a week. Do I really want like?
Yeah, you like, never think know. About that. Like the grass is not always greener. Like
no, it really isn't.
Like I had these conversations with coworkers of mine where like. Again, they're the type that's just always looking for the better. And it's like, great. Like that's ambitious. That's great for you. But be measured in your desires and your wants, because you don't know that whatever you're looking for or whatever is out there is this ideal scenario. Yeah, maybe they are going to give you, like you said, an extra 10K, but maybe that 10K is going to come with added stress that you did not even realize that job entailed. Because at that interview, they're not going to tell you, well, we send you home with work on weekends. Like, you know what I mean? They're not going to tell you that. You're going to learn that for yourself. You're going to learn that OT is a very normal thing. To end that note, I have a friend in New York. She works a pretty great job. She's a software developer. I can't remember. I think it's Foursquare or Fourspace or one of those places. Either way, a pretty good startup IT type of thing, where she gets like unlimited benefits, if you will, like unlimited PTO, really, really great benefits, alcohol at the job, you know what I mean? On the Friday, they will like roll out the carts, all that shit, free food all the time, blah, blah, blah. But she's like, well, yeah, you get that unlimited PTO, but they don't tell you that you can barely use that shit. Like, you know what I mean?
Unlimited PTO sounds like a trap.
Exactly. Like, yeah, you can go and take a 2-hour break in the middle of the day to go to your doctor's appointment, but you're gonna stay till 7 p.m. that night. Like, it's not like everything you get doesn't come with caveats. So again, like, it sounds cushy. If she told you all the positives of her job, you would be like, sign me up. I need to be there. And she's like, but then once you hear the flip side, you're gonna be like, oh,
I like my regular 9 to 5 limited PTO. Like, it's all right. I'll survive on this.
Exactly.
No, I think it's always good to just do your research. Ultimately, do your research and don't be too eager. On either side of it.
But stay ambitious. Stay hungry.
No, definitely. So we talked earlier about Vanessa Hudgens and her social media stuff. So I figured to end this conversation, we could talk about leaving social media.
Okay.
Right? So when is the right time? Let's talk about regular people. Celebrities, they might need it for business and all that stuff. If you're a regular person, how do you know, like, hey, I should probably stop being on Twitter now? Exactly. When do you... Because I know a lot of people that, like, don't use... A lot of people don't use Twitter, for example. But, like, everyone was on that at some point. Or, like, Facebook or Snapchat or Instagram or whatever.
What's going to happen to Instagram, probably.
Exactly. So, like, when do I decide that, like, you know what? I think I'm too much for Instagram. They can't handle me.
That's a good question. I feel like... not to beat a dead horse, but I feel like, again, it's kind of individual, internal. At least for me personally, it's like I just get tired of it. Like, I just find myself clicking on that app less and less, and that's what happened with Snapchat or Twitter, you know, and then it just becomes to a point where it's so obsolete, and I kind of just have these accounts and apps for no real reason, just to check in every so often. Especially like Twitter, I feel like has a space on my phone, because like every so often I'll find myself maybe scrolling through a hashtag or whatever the latest news is, whatever. But it definitely is rare, and I think that's gonna happen, like I said, with Instagram, where I'm just gonna get tired of it. I'm gonna get over it. I'm gonna be like, I'm not really... So
it's more just like a feel. It's just a matter of like, it just naturally happens. You don't necessarily make a decision like, I'm leaving Twitter.
Like, do you?
I haven't made that decision though.
I don't think I've ever made that decision. Yeah, I know people who like delete, like they don't just leave, they delete the account. Like, it's not like you can't even find them. Like, my shit's still there from however many years ago.
Yeah, and it's interesting to me because I'm like, like, I know someone that like deleted Instagram recently, and I'm like, oh, like, why? I don't know. Like, I didn't understand why he would delete it. Like, I'm okay, like, maybe you're not using it as much, but like, why do you have to, like you said, like you still have it and not use it that much? So it's like, what drives that kind of a decision? It's, I don't know, it's interesting to me.
I feel like for people, it's like maybe they're not so, like, I don't even want to say proud. I don't want to say ashamed, but they're just not so keen on what's out there of themselves. And they're like, I don't want, like if, especially like maybe somebody on Twitter is like, I don't want someone to stumble across this and see my thoughts from 4 years ago and think I'm the same person. Especially because I feel like Twitter was more intimate in that way, where like, you know, people felt the liberties of just sharing whatever they wanted.
Way too much.
In the middle of the night, just say. Whereas I feel like Instagram is a little bit more edited, and there's a little bit more thought and care taken as to what is posted. So maybe that feeling is not going to come to play as much as Twitter. Like, people, you know, drunk tweets were a thing for the longest time. So maybe from that angle, I can understand. But what I will say though is that my prior dismissal of certain apps came with my attraction to others. So like maybe
so something replaced something else.
Usually. And so like now that I don't see myself getting to TikTok anytime soon, when I do get tired of Instagram, I don't know what's gonna prompt that. Like, I don't know, you think it almost has to be something new. Usually that's how it's worked in the past. Like, maybe it was not like a perfect science. It wasn't like one ended, the other began. There was definitely some overlap. You know
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, but now there's no overlap. Like literally, I don't have another new shiny object. At the moment, you know what I mean? Like, and I don't see myself going back to Facebook anytime soon. Like I still have it, like you said, but like I don't see myself becoming active.
Log in, you don't check it.
But who knows? Maybe as a 50-year-old, like when I want to know what the likes of you are doing.
Yeah.
If we're not still doing this, maybe I will be on Facebook like creeping on everybody. But for now,
I think each social media has its purpose. So I think, like you said, when you have a new platform that fulfills the purposes of Instagram or whatever that you use now, then of course you're more likely to make the switch if you like the new one.
So what's gonna be that for you? Do you
honestly don't know. I think
get over Instagram.
I think whenever the new one comes out, and after a while, like I'm one of those people that like I'm always slow on social media. Like I'm the late person to get on. Like I was late to Facebook. Bless you. I was late to Facebook. Someone made it for me. Like I didn't even make my Facebook.
Same.
Even my Twitter.
Was it your sister? Because your sister made my Facebook.
No.
That would have been funny.
But yeah, someone else made my Facebook. Someone else made my Twitter. Instagram was like the first thing. Maybe Snapchat too. It was like the first things I made myself.
Someone made my Instagram, or I think I made my Instagram. Someone posted my first Instagram picture for me. Someone made my Facebook. Somebody made my Twitter, I believe, or at least did my first, like maybe like told me like, hey, you must tweet, whatever. I think I created it just to follow Drake because I'm so corny. But then she's like, you have to tweet, like come on, like be a part of the peoples, and then I did. So I'm much like you. I think we're both like maybe late bloomers, so to speak, when it comes to social media apps. So maybe eventually I will find myself on TikTok. Yeah. I don't really see that happening for myself. Yeah. So and I don't know what the next.
We'll see. There's going to be something though. There's going to be something.
You think so?
Definitely. There's always something.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. I think we should leave this conversation.
You think so?
Yes. All right.
All right.
Time for shout outs. But before we do shout outs, we actually forgot to do our new music.
I ain't got no shout outs, so I can make my music choices my shout outs.
Yeah, I don't really have any shout outs either.
Okay, so you want to do that?
Yeah, we could do that.
Let's make our music choices our shout outs this week. Give you guys something to listen to. Let me think. I think I'm going to go with The Weeknd. His album was kind of underwhelming. I'm not going to lie.
All right. What a shout out.
But I'm going to give them a song. The song I'm going to give you guys is either Faith or I think it's called Snow Child or Snowflake. One of those. Snow something.
Okay.
Those are good songs on the album. But overall, it was a bit underwhelming. I was looking forward to it heavy. Like, speaking of Instagram, I posted on Instagram, like, this is about to be my quarantine music. You know what I mean? And then I gave them an update, and I'm like, I kind of like it. It was just okay. It was mid.
Yeah.
But you guys can check out those two songs. If you're a Weeknd fan, definitely listen to the album. I'm sure you'll like a good handful of it. If you're not a Weeknd fan, just listen to the single.
Are you a Weeknd fan?
Yes, I am.
So you were underwhelmed as a Weeknd fan?
Yes, I'm underwhelmed as a
Worst album ever?
Of his releases, yeah. I liked Starboy more. I liked Beauty Behind the Madness more. I liked the classics, House of Blues, just that trilogy.
Yeah.
This one was just
yeah.
It was a lot of the same.
I
liked. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna ask you about the album cover. Was the album cover like him looking like Michael Jackson as like a zombie and all that? I really liked that cover.
It was really cool. Yeah, I agree.
It's a nice cover. I liked it.
No, but what I was gonna say to end this is I even liked the like shorter, like, I don't want to call it an EP, but like a throwaway project. It was like My Dear Melancholy or some shit like that.
Okay.
Do you know it?
I remember hearing. I don't listen to The Weeknd like that.
It was a great project. Even that was a great project. So I was like a little underwhelmed by this. But well, it is what it is.
Guys, you heard it here first. The Weeknd's worst project ever.
I didn't want to put it that way.
No, you have to put it that way. Ever. Gosh. Okay. Well, turn. My person, I've been trying to listen to new music, but it's so hard. I don't know what I've been doing my days.
No, it's okay.
I don't want to be like Face. I'm not going to say two people. I'm going to give one.
I give one person just now.
I know, for the first time ever. So maybe it's my turn.
Lies.
So no, this song I really like is by Show Them Camp. It's called Too Bad. And my shout out is, of course, I'm going to shout out Show Them Camp because it's their song.
Yeah.
But I'm also going to shout out, there's this artist on there called Thames.
Okay.
Have you heard of her?
Yes.
No? You have heard of Thames?
Because of Miriam,
she's really good. Like, I love her. Like, anything that has Thames on it, I'm going to listen to at least once.
Is that bad?
I didn't know that I loved her. So
good,
I haven't listened to that much of her music. But I'd heard her name around. But, there's so many artists. Like, I'm like, when you get my attention, then I'll pay attention. And I heard one of her songs. And I was like, oh my God, like, who's this person? Her voice is just so unique and beautiful, and she makes great music.
I think the reason I know her is from some playlist that Marion put me on to. It's pretty cool. Like, it just gives you... Actually, I'll give it to you guys. It's on Spotify. It's called African Heat or something like that.
Oh, I listen to that's my playlist.
Yeah, I think
I go
she
there
was
for new
on
music.
there, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm sure she was at some point.
Or so, I don't know how I found it, but I know there's like a few songs I've heard by her, and I do like her.
No, she's really good. She's really talented. She makes really good music. So yeah, check her out if you haven't listened to her, and listen to Show Them Camp.
Cool.
Yeah, that's it. Anything else?
That's all.
All right, guys. Stay safe.
Stay safe. Wash
Enjoy
your
quarantine time. Stay away from people. Social distancing.